Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm also giving the color to the button. Okay, so I am going to create some method in the class. So what I'm doing, first I'm going to define the constructor. Okay, and then I'm going to define two methods, public void. When you will use the method in Visual Force page, you have to create non-static method. Public void student method, then we have to create employee method. Public void employee method. Now I'm going to save it. Okay, so there is no error. So which value we have to display? Name, course, branch, year. Okay, so name, string, name. We will use get set method. Okay, name, course, branch, year. Going to save it. Okay, so I'm assigning the value when we will call student method. That time name it should be curve sending. Course what it should be p tab. Branch it should be cs. Year it should be final year. Okay, so these information should be displayed. Good. Then we will click on the employee information button. I want to call employee method, which value I want to display name, email, salary, address. Name, email, salary, address. Going to save it. So name are two variables. We have to write employee. Okay. So I want employee name should be Koranzu Sen and email it should be Koranzu at sani.com. And next we have salary. So salary we have to enter decimal type. Decimal I'll use quote or not. When I will write the salary, I'll use quote or not.
No. No.
No.
Okay, so I'm not getting any error. Now what I'm doing, I'm going to copy the student name. I'm going to print it. So when we will access the variable name of X class, how we will write it? We will write in expression form. Okay. इसको कभी भी एक्सक्लेमेटरी साइन नहीं बोलना। एक्सक्लेमेटरी साइन होता है इंग्लिश के टर्म में, ठीक है, कोडिंग के टर्म में इसको एक्सप्रेशन साइन बोलते हैं। वी हैव टू राइट इन एक्सप्रेशन फॉर्म। cos branch here, going to save it. Same, I'm writing. I, okay, I'm getting error message, unknown property, student name. So why I'm getting error message?
The branch and year name should be in the expression.
Because we haven't access file, matlab like you haven't used the public access specifier. It will count as protected, I think.
Yeah, unknown property means there is no std name in the class. We are unable to call std name in the class. Why we are unable to call it?
So
Because
because we haven't used public.
yeah, because the access specifier is private. Okay, by default it is a private. What we have to do? We have to make it public. So now I'm going to save it. Okay, now again click on preview button and checking the output. Refreshing the page. Okay, so clicking on student information, I'm getting error message. Why I'm getting error message?
So you haven't called the method name.
So in Visual Force page, we have not called the method. So when when you will call the method, that time you have to also write expression. Okay, so student method, here we have to also write employee method. Page cut off. Okay, so I'm going to open fifth page and fifth class. Was fifth page and student method. Employee method. Going to save it. Saving. There is no error. Now I'm going to preview it. Yeah. So now I'm clicking on student information button. And what I'm getting data. Curves, NEB, text, CS, file. I'm clicking on employee information. What I'm getting the data of employee. Quran and others thing. Okay. But I'm not happy with this UI. What I want, initially, I want to display the button only. Student information, employee information. If you are clicking on student information button, that time student information should be displayed. Okay. If you are clicking on employee information button, that time employee information should be displayed and student information should be hide. Okay. If I'm clicking on employee information, only employee information should be displayed. Student information should be hide. If I'm clicking on student information should be displayed. Other things should be hide. So how can we do it?
by using render attribute.
Rendered.
Yeah. So by using rendered attribute. So what I'm doing, I'm going to create some checkbox. I'm going to open class. Yeah, fifth controller. Okay. So here what I'm doing, I'm going to create two checkbox boolean. I'm writing is student get set. Okay. You want employee data is employee get set. Then is student. So by default, why I'm what I'm doing, by default it's false. So when I will write the false, I will write inside the quote or without quote.
Without code.
How many are saying without quote?
Yes, sir, without code.
Yes, sir.
So first one is not correct.
Yes, sir, incorrect. That's why error should be.
Okay. So when page will refresh, what will happen? Constructor will execute and is student and is employee. It will be false. Okay. I want to display one message also. I'm not displaying any message. Okay, so when constructor will execute, by default, it will be the false. If age student is false, so what will happen? I'm going in Visual Force page. Here we have one block that is student information block. Here I'm going to use one attribute that is render. So in rendered, we can pass true and false value. So what I'm doing, true and false value we have in one checkbox. In one, you can say in one variable check. Okay, boolean type of variable is student. So by default, it is false. So false value will come. When it is false, what will happen? This block will not display. Employee information, I don't want to display. So is employee. Okay, I'm going to save it. Now again, I'm going to preview it, refreshing the page. And administrator has changed the definition of page or component slash script page. What I've done. Okay. So what I'm getting student information, employee information. I'm not getting the data. I'm not getting two block which I have created. Okay. But what's the requirement when I will click on student information? Student information data should be displayed. If I'm clicking on employee information, so employee information data should be displayed. So how can we achieve it? So what we have to do? We have to go in the class and when I will click on student method, that time it should be true. Okay. And when I will click on employee information, employee button, that time it should be true. Okay, then I'm going to save it. Again, I'm going to preview it, clicking on student information, paging is refresh. I'm getting student information. If I'm clicking on employee information, so what I'm getting? Employee data. But here I am also getting the student information. I don't want to display it, I want to hide it. ठीक है, जो स्टूडेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन भी आ रही है, ठीक है, वो भी मैं हाइड करना चाहता हूँ. If I'm click on employee information, only employee information will be displayed. So how can we achieve it?
Sir, we have to change the value, the boolean value in the method. Like in the std method, we have to change the is employee is equals to false.
Yeah. So when I will call student method, so I want to display is student, it should be true, and is employee, it should be false. ठीक है, employee की information दिखे ही नहीं. And when I will click on employee information method, that time is employee, and it should be true, and is study, it should be false. ठीक है, कि स्टूडेंट की इन्फॉर्मेशन फॉल्स रहेगी, फॉल्स मीन्स ब्लॉक वो डिस्प्ले ही नहीं होएगा. तो हम मेथड कॉल कराने पे वैल्यू चेंज कर दें. बाय डिफॉल्ट कंस्ट्रक्टर फायर होएगा, दोनों वैल्यू नहीं डिस्प्ले होंगी. जैसे हम बटन पे क्लिक करेंगे, इसकी वैल्यू चेंज हो जाएगी, वेरिएबल ट्रू हो जाएगी, बस स्टूडेंट का डेटा डिस्प्ले होएगा, एम्प्लॉय फॉल्स रहेगा. व्हेन आई विल क्लिक ऑन एम्प्लॉय इन्फॉर्मेशन बटन, एम्प्लॉय का डेटा ट्रू हो जाएगा, वही डिस्प्ले होएगा, फॉल्स रहेगा द डेटा. आई एम गोइंग टू प्रीव्यू इट. अगेन रिफ्रेशिंग द पेज, क्लिकिंग ऑन स्टूडेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन, getting the data of student. If I'll click on employee information, तो each student वो क्या हो जाएगा, false, and I'm getting employee information. ठीक है, किसी को भी इस सिनेरियो में कुछ डाउट, कोई डाउट इस सिनेरियो में?
नहीं सर।
समझ में आया सभी को?
यस
आया सर, प्रैक्टिस के लिए।
हाँ
प्रैक्टिस,
मतलब बहुत लंबा है, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं इसके अंदर, थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ेगा।
प्रैक्टिस से आ जाएगा. ठीक है,
दोबारा रिकॉर्डिंग देखनी पड़ेगी।
तो एक अच्छा सा असाइनमेंट करते हैं. ठीक है, इसी के बेसिस पे व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, यू हैव टू कंप्लीट वन असाइनमेंट. ओके, so you have to create a visual force page as well as Apex class, and inside the visual force page you have to create one block.
So
Inside,
can we do this assignment from tomorrow, sir? It's a need one day to understand all of the like tags.
अरे
So
भाई, भाई इतना आसान तो था. आज पढ़ाया ही क्या है, मैंने पेज ब्लॉक भी कल पढ़ा दिया, सेक्शन हेडर भी आज पढ़ाया ही क्या है, पेज ब्लॉक भी कल ही पढ़ा दिया था. बस एट्रीब्यूट यूज करने सिखाए हैं थोड़े बहुत.
सर वो हमारे लिए बहुत कुछ हो गया आज।
नहीं नहीं,
I agree with you, sir. You can give me assignment. We will complete tomorrow, sir. So
yeah,
it is okay.
you have time, you can take your time. Two assignment I am giving you. Okay, one assignment I already gave to you. Okay, now I'm giving you second assignment. Tomorrow I'll check when I'll come, when I'll start doing. Okay.
ओके सर।
Okay, so what I'm doing, you have to create four button: bike information, car information, truck information, bus information. Okay, you have to also give the color, any color you can give. Okay, and you have to also use section header. If I have taught to you, you have to use it. Okay, you have display printable view, help, these things you have to also write. Then when you will click on bike information, that time you have to display the bike information. So you have to use, you have to display four value like bike name, bike model. Okay. So bike name, you can write any bike name. Yamaha model number, you can write MT15. Price, you can write, okay, whatever price you want to write, you can write it. Then tire, you can write two. Okay, so to bike, you have to display this information. And when you will click on bike button, that time this information should be displayed. Okay, and if you are clicking on car information, that time you have to display the car information. Only car information should be displayed. Okay, price, whatever you want to write, you can write it. Then tire. Okay, like that you can display the information of truck and bus. ठीक है, तीन तीन एट्रीब्यूट ले लेना, तीन तीन वेरिएबल ट्रक और बस के वो डिस्प्ले कराने, हो जाएगा ये टास्क।
यस सर।
आसान है, जो मैंने बिल्कुल अभी पढ़ाया वैसा ही है।
यस सर,
मतलब हो जाएगा बट आसान नहीं है।
जब प्रैक्टिस करेंगे पहले और
हाँ हाँ,
Yes, sir. Need of some practice.
ठीक है,
विल
बट
विल ट्राई बेस्ट।
प्रॉब्लम होगी सर पूछ लेंगे आपसे।
प्रॉब्लम होगी, हाँ पूछ लेना, बट ट्राई कर, इस ये कंप्लीट करना ही है। ठीक है,
ओके सर।
और जो मैंने पहले वाला दिया था वो भी कंप्लीट करना
Okay, sir.
है। ओके, और एक बात और, कि मैं अगर मेरा सेशन लोगे ना तो सब कुछ ऐसा लगेगा कि कितना आसान है, आसान है। ठीक है, आपको खुद कोड जरूर लिखना है, ये नहीं बस रिकॉर्डिंग पे और ऐसे डिपेंडेंट नहीं रहना, कोड जरूर लिखो, नहीं तो आसान आसान रहेगा सब कुछ। और सेल्स फोर्स जितनी जल्दी, मतलब जितनी लेट आता है उतनी जल्दी जाता भी, पता नहीं चलेगी कब एडमिन गायब हो गया डेवलपर पढ़ते पढ़ते, और कब एलडब्ल्यूसी पढ़ते पढ़ते एपेक्स क्लास गायब हो गई।
ये चीज तो सही बोल रहे हो सर आप।
हाँ, ठीक है, हम भी ट्रेनिंग देकर आते हैं, हमें पता नहीं होता
सर
कि
हम
हम।
LWC करते करते और आप भूल गए पूरी।
हम्म, हमें दो
और
महीने
BF।
हम्म।
सर ये सर असाइनमेंट का भी स्क्रीनशॉट भेज देना, विल ट्राई